The mangled vehicles are still here, located on the 10 freeway. Investigators will be out here for several hours, and we have just learned that the driver who caused the accident was allegedly driving under the influence of drugs. A 21-year-old driver suspected of being under the influence of drugs is blamed for a fiery, violent crash that left 3 people dead, 4 injured, and their vehicles crushed beyond recognition. Around 1:10 p.m., a red semi-truck reportedly failed to slow down on the I-10 West and barreled directly into several vehicles that were then crushed in between 2 big rigs. One of the cars exploded into flames. A total of 4 semis and 8 vehicles were involved in this crash. They were crushed. Those poor people never stood a chance.
Truck driver accused of causing a deadly chain reaction crash in Ontario has been identified. Investigators say Jaishanpreet Singh from Yuba City was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence of drugs and vehicular manslaughter. The dash cam video from yesterday shows a semi-truck plowing into several cars on the 10 freeway. In all, 8 cars were involved. One of the victims identified is a 54-year-old man from Upland. The 2 others were so badly burned, they have not yet been identified.
Let me tell you guys something about that 10 freeway accident. Now you guys see what the fuck us truck drivers see. And nobody gives a fuck until it happens to them or until it happens around them and shit, you know? That shit is fucking sad. I don't know the story about it, but every time that I see an accident, like, it's just like, fuck, dude. Like, why do people have to drive so fast? Why do people not give a fuck? Like, this is the world that we're living in and shit. No one gives a fuck about nobody. Fucking, this is what happens and shit when, like, people are on their phone, people are drunk. Like, we see that shit every single fucking day. That shit makes me more mad than fucking sad, dude. Even though it is sad. Like, you know, people are fucking, come on, man. We got to do better.
Now, allegedly, this is the driver behind this incident. It was on a post on X, and they're claiming that this is the guy. We don't know, though. He's being accused of being under the influence. And, you know, just, what was it, like 2-3 months ago? They were arguing, not really arguing, but they were trying to see if they can bring drivers for trucks who are 18 years and older to be able to be truck drivers. Now, this is probably for the truckers who've been driving for a long time. But there was a time, I think in like 2000, maybe in the 2000s, early 2000s, they used to have truck drivers who were 18 years old. Like I didn't meet a truck driver that was 18. I met a truck driver that was 19. I met a truck driver before in their 20s. So around that time, I recognized that there was quite a few truck drivers that were not 21 and older. I think the rate that the way everything is going right now, they gonna push that bitch up to 25 and older. That's what it sounds like, because it's just too risky to have drivers like when you're young. And I know people get offended sometimes when you say stuff like this, but the reality of it is when you're a young driver, the reason why they have so many insurances and stuff is so much insurance that's higher and stuff like that is because you are a little careless when you're young. And of course, there's some responsible people out there. But for the most part, when you're like when I first got my license when I was 18 years old versus now, I'm more responsible now and cautious on how I drive and pay attention more than I did when I was 18. You know, because you know the consequences of it. And the messed up part about this is 3 people's lives are now gone. They're now gone. They're saying the guy didn't even stop. He didn't even press the brakes. He didn't do anything to try to stop it. He just went right through. I don't know why that reason could be. I mean, he could have been somebody who's on medication and it just kicked in. And they say, you know, under the influence can mean a lot of things. But when they say accused, that can mean a lot of things. When people hear under their influence, they automatically think alcohol. Rarely they think of drugs. But even with drugs, were they legal drugs? Were they illegal? You know, it's just so many questions. And we're not going to know until later on down the line once the investigation is over and they start checking and see what's going on. But you see these trucks, they are way bigger than cars. I mean, they will smash the car to nothing. And it's so sad how you're here one minute and you're gone the next, and your family. My heart goes out to those families. It's around the holidays. It's scary to lose family around the holidays. And coming from someone who was a trucker wife for quite some time, my husband used to be on the road, and it was scary because he would see stuff like this all the time with people being irresponsible on the road, not just truck drivers, regular people in the car all the time. And he would do so much to try to prevent accidents that people are reckless about and causing. Like, that's the reality of it. Like, even when he drives a regular car, he still looks like 10 cars ahead, because that's what you're supposed to do, or probably more as a trucker. And he'll see things way, way, way far ahead before I even, look. And he's like, no, you need to pay attention to that way up there. Like, he's very cautious about it. And, this puts a lot of bad stigma on truck drivers. And truck drivers, for the most part, from what I can see, they're really good drivers. A lot of the accidents that I've seen or I've witnessed that truck drivers was in, I will say this is probably the first that I've seen that in a long time that was the trucker's fault. So it's a little crazy how this chaos happened. And I just really pray for the families and feel for the families. Now, somebody reported that 4 people are unalived, and now they're reporting it's only 3. But 3 is way more than it needs to be. And I don't understand how people can live with themselves when they are responsible for situations like this happening. You'll take somebody's life, but you'll heal up and you'll be around your family and your family will love you. But dang, I mean, shit, can we talk about it? Even with Brandy, the singer, and when she had her situation, we ain't hear about that car accident since then. The people that moved on, but I know the people who lost their family member didn't. Bruce Jenner, he's another one. We ain't hear about that car accident either. I want to say Angelina Jolie, allegedly. I gotta do my research, but it was quite a few celebrities who has taken lives or got people really hurt in car accidents, and nobody listens to them or listens to it or pay attention to it. They're not truck drivers, but the point is, it's a lot of loss when it comes to traffic and cars and accidents and everything like that. And it's so much to unpack, and it's unfortunate that this would happen at this time. Halloween is like next week, a week and a half or whatever. Then after that, you got your Thanksgiving, and then people are worried about the government shutdown. Are they going to be able to afford to get their turkeys and their Halloween? It's like the way things are going in society right now, it don't look like ain't nobody gonna care about Christmas. I mean, the people who have it to give for Christmas are going to care about Christmas. But it's still not going to be as fun, because you can't really... like, when I do stuff for the kids and I like them to have a great Christmas and stuff like that, I like to see everybody else's Christmases too. And I don't want to be on the internet seeing no sad ass shit like I couldn't get my kids nothing, so we just whatever. And, people are going to make the best of what they have, but I don't want to see that, the sadness, meaning I wish that wasn't going on right now. I wish everybody would be able to take care of their families and do what they need to do. The world is already bad. The world is already full of people who just do too much. Stalkers, harassers, people who steal, people who scam. Like, it's a lot going on. And then when you got the government shutdown pending, that's happening now, that hasn't let up yet, that has a lot of people worried. So this don't make it no better, is what I'm saying. And I hope that, the parents who don't know how their Christmas is going to turn out, Y'all better take your butts to them toy drives, take your butts to them pantries, get everything that they have that they can provide for you so you guys can provide for your family. I'm so serious. Y'all need to do that because if you don't do it, it's going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else going to grab it, and you need to make sure your babies have something. You know what I mean? You got to make it, we all know how to make do with what we have, and that's just something we're going to have to do this year, And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to make do with what you have. I promise you. Like, even, maybe decorate with your kids or make stuff. There's a lot of things that shoot. I'm an 80s baby, so, we used to make mud pies and shit. So it's just, it is what it is. We found adventure everywhere, but, there's still things to do. I don't know if there are going to be any coupon specials when it comes to they had some with Target. Even for the ones who haven't boycotted Target or still boycotting Target or whatever y'all got going on, they had some rebates at Target for the sales to be cheaper and stuff. And with the economy being so bad, I think the sales are gonna get cheaper and cheaper. So I'll keep y'all posted with that. But I pray, my heart goes out to this family who lost their family members unexpectedly. Like, they were here one minute, probably on their way to work, and then this foolishness happens. And as for the person who did it, like, again, I don't know if this is a driver. This is what they're saying that the driver's name is. The news announced his name, but I don't know if this picture is actually him. But if it is, regardless of the fact, this person needs to be held accountable to the full extent, the most full extent of the law. Because you took 3 lives from people who are not going to understand why. They're not going to get it. Like, all that thing happened for a reason, and all them little things that people like to say to people when somebody transitioned, they don't want to hear that. And this so close to so many things. You don't know if that's somebody was on the way to a birthday party. You don't know what, I feel like this person should definitely be held accountable in a real way, because this is so heartbreaking. And to see those cars, the way they're crashed like that, they're smashed to nothing. You heard the news say that some of the bodies have to be identified because they're burnt up. That is so sad. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Again, this is scary. In Ontario, the freeway, it'd be so many accidents on that freeway. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. We never gonna beat the allegations in California. We just never gonna beat the allegations. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm out.
We in a no hyena zone. Anti-hyena zone.